and welcome back to more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Where in the last episode, we finished up our adventures in Goo Lagoon, and today we will be heading to the first major boss battle of the game, which requires 15 golden spatulas. We have 29, so we are more than alright to go ahead and activate it. And go to the Poseidome.
Brought you two here to face a great challenge.
I've got nerves of steel and muscles of sand.
And eyes of jelly.
My Poseidome has been breached by a mighty foe whom you must vanquish.
Bring it on, Your Highness! Bring it on!
In this corner, defending the Poseidome, a small square guy. And his challenger, a huge murderous robot shaped like a squirrel. Look, it's a giraffe.
I think I need to get home to feed Gary.
Meet Robo-Sandy, the first major boss battle of the game. And the way you defeat her is pretty simple. You wait for her to attack you, jump up when she lands so you don't get caught in the blast radius around her, jump up, then bubble bounce next to her to cause her helmet to fly off. The fight's divided into 3 phases, as is most boss fights in the game. All the major boss fights in the game, at least, are broken into 3 phases. This one's pretty simple. Wait for her to jump at you, bubble bounce next to her, and wait for the helmet to fly off. That's all there really is to this boss fight. You can make it go a little bit faster by hanging out in the general middle area, and that'll cause it to rush you. But aside from that, there isn't much you can do to make this boss fight go any faster. Just a matter of waiting for her to rush you, and then you can do the bubble bounce. Alright, phase 2 time. Let's go.
Patrick, we're not playing. We're fighting for our lives.
I wanna play.
Oh, all right.
Now we are playing as Patrick, and the way we have to attack her is going to be a bit different in this section, as I'm sure you can discern, because obviously Patrick doesn't have a bubble dash, but she has a new attack as well. Attach yourself to the end, and then launch yourself towards you. So what you want to do is, when she does that, just jump over the legs, because obviously if you jump, she can't get you. Like last time, jump to avoid the blast radius, but this time, just knocking the helmet off is not enough to cause her to take damage. What you want to do instead is pick up the helmet as Patrick, and then throw it into the scoreboard like so. Because remember, Patrick can pick up and throw things. Very, very nice way to implement his gameplay status. So, status, no gameplay mechanic. So again, you can cause her to rush you by approaching her in the middle after she does this initial attack. So you kind of approach her a little bit, and that will cause her to rush you, or I guess, not rush you, but do her attack. Again, wait for her to launch yourself across, and jump over her spring legs so that she can't catch you with them. That's not going to be as easy in the next phase, but I'll get to that when the time comes. He's rushed, bubble bounce like, or belly flop, I guess, like that. Run. Remember, if you're not, something I should have mentioned, I guess, is if you're not fast enough in picking up and throwing the helmet, she can actually, like, the helmet will just go back onto her head automatically. So, you gotta be kind of expedient in your boss fighting-ness. I don't know. Boss fights definitely are the weakest part of the game, which, I mean, not to say they're bad, it's just they're definitely the slowest and weakest. Not all of them. There are some boss fights that are pretty darn good, but generally speaking, the main level design and platforming and combat is all much better. As I said, I'm not to say it's bad. Anyway, last section of phase 2, in which we can boo. Who are you booing? You booing me, or are you booing her? Come on. Little support for little Star Guy. I missed. You know what? Okay. Remember that thing I said for little support for Star Guy? Well, maybe you shouldn't be supporting me, since, you know, I just missed that throw when there were hands there too. All right, phase 3 time. Let's go.
That was fun. Your turn, SpongeBob.
Oh?
Ooh, yikes. Okay, that was not part of the plan. Put me a little bit too close to Sandy there when we spawned in. Anyway, just like last time, she is going to do the thing where she pins herself up against the side and launches her across. What I recommend is that when she runs from one side to the other, pins herself up against that same wall, so that when she launches herself across, she can't catch you, because unlike the last one, she does the same spring launch thing, but now she has the arms as well. So she's gonna catch the helmet this time. What you want to do is wait for yourself to get under her helmet, and then bubble bash from underneath, like, not like that, like so. Basically, when she moves, if she's moving to the right, you want to move to the left and catch her in the middle, so that, like, you move in opposite direction. She moves right, you move left, and then you meet in the middle and bubble bash from underneath. That's basically what it is. Again, when she goes to one side of the other, I might have to jump through this one. Yep, I had to jump through that one. You either have to do a very small jump, not a high jump like this, but a small jump like this, and then spin stall immediately so that you don't go any higher, or you just pin yourself against the same wall that she's on so that she doesn't catch you off guard, and you completely avoid it. Alright, that's the second hit, one more hit, and that will be it for this boss battle. I hope I'm explaining things fine, because I have to explain things really, really quickly while also fighting the boss, so as a refresher, pin yourself up against the wall, or alternatively, one small jump and then an immediate spin stall so that you don't go any higher, and you can just jump through that little, very, very tiny gap immediately, and then bubble bounce like so. She's gonna move one direction, move the other, and bubble bash underneath like so, and that's the first boss battle done. Well, the first major boss battle, I guess.
That was quite a battle. Tell him what he's won, Johnny.
It's a new power, the Bubble Bowl. But wait, there's more. A golden spatula, and that's not all. A gift certificate for $5.32 to Dean's Little Shop of Dried Fish Flakes and Flowers.
Oh, thank you. It all means so much. I promised myself I wouldn't cry.
Cry all you want, but not here. We just wax the floors.
Hey, Plankton.
Yes, what is it?
I was just wondering why all the robots seem to be coming from inside the chum bucket.
Have they? I really haven't noticed.
Yeah. And then there's that big flashing neon sign that says Robot Headquarters.
SpongeBob, I'm your friend, right?
No, not really.
Exactly, and as your non-friend, I worry about you. Like right now, you're thinking too much. I'm worried you might really hurt yourself. Tell you what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna think for you. This way you won't hurt yourself, and you can just keep working on getting me into the chum bucket.
Thanks, Plankton. You're the best non-friend a friend could have. No more thinking for me.
Welcome to a brand new area of the hub world, the second part of Bikini Bottom. We have a whole bunch of new areas for us to access, including the Tree Dome and Shady Shoals, both of which we will be interacting with in some way in this episode. But beating the boss did not only give us access to a new area, it also gave us two other interesting things. It gave us the ability to use the sponge ball in the hub world, which is pretty awesome because the game always spawns you at SpongeBob's pineapple whenever you load up the game. Like from the main menu. So this makes traversing across the hub world much, much faster, which is a welcome addition. I didn't really need it for the first part because the first part's all contained within here, but after that it gets a little tedious. Anyway, that's not the only thing. The other major thing that we obtain as a result of beating that boss battle, as they mentioned, is the Bubble Bowl. So I am going to allow Bubble Buddy to explain it.
Let me teach you how to bowl a bubble. Press this button and you'll bowl a bubble that can knock down robots from a safe distance.
Wow!
Remember though, the Bubble Bowl only works on things that are close to the ground.
Got it.
Which isn't entirely true. If you're skilled enough, you can kind of ramp it off things. That wasn't a very good example, but you can ramp it off things. Kind of like that. There's these things in the way, so it didn't work out that well there. But there are instances in the game, I probably won't use any of them, but you can ramp it a little bit. It's not the way it's meant to be used, of course, but it is possible. But the main way, of course, is the main way it's meant to be used is by just doing that and knocking things over like that. Or bubble bowling, bubble ball. Bubble bowling, bubble buddy, that's what I meant to say. Anyway, chain reaction over here. Also, something that's kind of annoying is while Mr. Krabs moves when you go to a new part of the hub world, Patrick does not. He stays over there by his rock. So every time we get 10 stocks, we have to go back to him and get a new spatula, which is kind of annoying. Anyway, enough chit chat. There's still work we have to do. We're not done with the episode just yet. There are 2 golden spatulas and 1 sock that we have to obtain. We're gonna get the sock right now. All we gotta do is walk up to this fountain and hit it once with the spin attack, and there's a sock. And the next thing we're gonna want to do is head over to this platform right here and bubble bowl into this button like so.
Coming at ya.
Then bounce up to the top of the police station. Not only are we going to get a pair of golden underwear from inside this pipe right here, which means we can now wear 5 pairs of underwear, which gives us 5 health points instead of the previous 4. We're also going to jump our way across these spinning cubes as they come to us. You want to try to anticipate the cube spin so it doesn't knock you off when it rotates. like so. It's gonna spin as soon as I land, and then jump up on top here. And I'm not gonna take the risk. I'm just gonna wait for this to take me up to the top. And we've got it with 14 seconds to spare. Well, 13, but it's because I kind of stalled at the top. Okay. One more golden spatula for us to get in the second part of Bikini Bottom, and then there's one other special thing that I want to show off that actually involves us to go back into the first part of Bikini Bottom, and I'll explain what I mean by that in a second. But for now, let's go to Sandy's Tree Dome.
Sandy, your tree dome is leaking!
Them there robots busted up the glass, SpongeBob. I got a treehouse chock full of robots, and it's all your fault, so get in there and clean up your mess.
Are you ready, kids? Set, go. Okay, so, this, much like the lighthouse, is a combat arena where you have to get rid of all the robots in a certain area before you are given your golden spatula. And I'm already taking 2 health points, which isn't all that great, but I'm sure we'll make do. As usual, you want to try to target the Duplicatotrons first, which I'm not doing here, but I'm just kind of taking out any enemies that I come across as we go, just to make getting to Duplicatotrons a little easier. But as always, Duplicatotrons should be your primary threat because they can actually spawn in more enemies, which isn't something you want to have to deal with. And I think we might be able to do this pretty quickly. Yeah, and there's also a time limit, but I've never had to worry about the time limit. Also, I have a bubble bull. I haven't used it once at all, so let's actually use it to take out you, and then I'll try to use it against... Actually, I'll use it against you. Why not? There we go. I thought I was going to get 2 birds with 1 stone, but even still, no problem whatsoever. Just destroyed all the robots. A combination of all the fighting tactics you've learned up until this point. Also, SpongeBob's face is horrifying here. We've all accepted this. Let's move on.
Alrighty then. That's much better. I suppose you'll be needing this more than me.
Now, there's one last thing that we're going to do before we end off the episode, and that is that there is still one more sock waiting for us all the way back in Jellyfish Fields. As you may or may not recall, there are exactly 2 socks we've yet to collect. We still aren't going to be able to get both of them, but there is one sock that we can now get because we have the Bubble Bowl. You may have seen it in episode 2 when we actually passed by it. You may not have seen it, but either way, what you want to do is you want to warp to Patrick's Dilemma, which is going to take you to the top of that slide where Mermaid Man is standing. Then turn around and go through the gate back here to go back to Jellyfish Rock. Then from there, all you gotta do is make your way across these platforms, and it'll be a direct line of sight to the area we have to go in. You can actually see the sock hovering in the air over there. It's a little shining thing above. But if we drop off right here, there's a bowling arena. Not so subtle way of telling you that you need to know the Bubble Bowl move in order to play this game. So stand right here, aim towards the center. That wasn't towards the center, but even so, you don't have to get a strike. You just have to knock over all the pins, like so. I said like so. I said like so. My aim. I need to work on my aim for this thing apparently, because man, am I out of practice with the Bubble Bowl. Oh, that's the other thing. You use the left stick to actually aim where you want to roll it, but I apparently have trash aim. There we go. Once you knock over all the pins, you can go grab the sock, and that is still, for now, all we can do in Jellyfish Fields. Unfortunately, there are still some things that we cannot get, because there's still one more ability that we need, and once we get that, which of course we'll get after we beat the next big boss of the game, then we will be able to actually, then we'll be able to collect all the remaining things. We're going to get the extra sock we still have to do here, the extra sock we have to do here, and the extra spatula we have to do back in the Seed Needle. All of that in due time, but for now, that will be it for this episode of the walkthrough. So, thanks for watching. Stay tuned next time to catch you all tomorrow for some more Spongebob Squarepants Battle for Bikini Bottom. Goodbye!